On this week's episode of Wide Open Throttle, Chevy's next Corvette breaks cover. We'll check out AMG's tidal wave of high-performance Benzes, and we'll see if BMW has perfected the ultimate green machine. And Kim Reynolds will bring you the lowdown on Tesla's newest electric car. Welcome to Wide Open Throttle. I'm Jessi Lang, and leading this week's automotive news are the hot new cars coming from AMG. Stand by for an avalanche of potent new high-performance cars from Mercedes-Benz in-house hot shop, AMG. AMG will launch 17 new models in Europe over the next 4 years, including a brand new sports car aimed squarely at Porsche's 911. Among the new AMG models coming to the U.S. this year is the new SL Roadster in 2 flavors, the 630 horsepower twin-turbo V12 powered SL65 and the 564 horsepower twin-turbo V8 powered SL63. Coming in 2013 is a Black Series version of the SLS that will be wider, lighter, more aerodynamic, more efficient, and with at least 600 horsepower under the hood. It will be joined by a new Performance Series version of the C63 Coupe that will have at least 530 horsepower and S63 and S65 versions of the all-new S-Class. The all-new AMG sports car, which is expected to be called the SLC, will debut in 2014. The car, codenamed C190, will be powered by a new twin-turbo 4-liter modular V8 engine said to develop 550 horsepower. Like the SLS, the SLC will feature an aluminum space frame, double wishbone suspension, and a trans-axle transmission. But sadly, it won't have gull-wing doors. The SLS will be replaced in 2016 by an all-new car codenamed C198. Sources say the new gull-wing will be lighter than the smaller SLC and more powerful, with up to 650 horsepower available from its 6.2-liter V8. BMW has a reputation for building cars enthusiasts love to drive, and the company recently reintroduced the Ultimate Driving Machine tagline to its advertising here in the U.S. to reinforce that reputation. But BMW is also developing a range of radical new green cars it hopes will appeal to enthusiasts who want to drive environmentally friendly machinery. The Bmw i3 and i8 were revealed as concepts at the Frankfurt show and will appear as production cars in 2013 and 2014, respectively. The i3 is a 4-door hatchback that will be powered by a rear-mounted 170 horsepower motor that will give the car a 0 to 60 acceleration of about 7.7 seconds and a range of 80 to 100 miles. An 80 horsepower 1.5-liter 3-cylinder engine will be available as a range extender. The engine will only charge the i3's battery, not drive the wheels, and is said to give an extra 50 miles driving range. The sporty i8 will be a plug-in hybrid with the 170 horsepower electric motor from the i3 driving the front wheels and a turbocharged 1.5-liter 3-cylinder engine with 223 horsepower driving the rears. The i8 can run as a front drive, rear drive, or all-wheel drive, depending on the driver's performance and emissions choices. It will cover 20 miles in pure electric mode, but using both engines, it will hit 60 in about 4.7 seconds and reach 156 miles per hour. The ultralight carbon fiber and aluminum-intensive i3 and i8 may be followed by a 5-seat small minivan called the i5 in 2015 and a small city car called the i1 in 2016. Chevy's long-awaited C7 Corvette has broken cover. C7 prototypes have been caught winter testing in northern Canada, and though the cars have been heavily disguised, it's clear the C7 will be an evolution of the current car. That means the new Corvette will retain its signature front-mounted engine, despite rumors of a mid-engine layout. And the base engine will be a small block V8, though it will get direct injection and may be downsized to 5.5 liters. 2 transmissions will reportedly be offered, a new 7-speed manual and GM's new 8-speed automatic. The C7 may also get an aluminum space frame across the range, along with carbon fiber and fiberglass body panels. The exterior styling is expected to be an evolution of the current Corvettes, despite rumors that GM design chief Ed Welburn has not worked the iconic split window from the 1963 Stingray into the design. Welburn's designers have spent a lot of time on the new Corvette's interior, however. The C7 will look and feel much richer and more upscale than the current Corvette inside, thanks to a new dash, seats and door trims, and a major upgrade in the quality of the materials used. Lighter, faster, more efficient, and with higher build quality, the new C7 Corvette will be one of the year's hottest new cars when it launches next fall as a 2014 model. Elon Musk has unveiled the Tesla Model X, a long-range battery electric prototype that isn't limited to short-distance drives and won't cost more than your yearly salary. Our own Kim Reynolds was there at the debut and has all the details.
Here today we're in Hawthorne, California to look at a new Tesla model. And right there, you see the doors opening. This is the prototype of the Model X, a new Tesla model that will be following the Model S. Those doors are probably the signature quality of the vehicle in that they allow very interesting opportunities to get in and out of the vehicle. It's based on the Model S's platform, same rear motor. There is an optional front motor that's about half the size, half the power. It allows for a very interesting sort of all-wheel drive that's electronically controlled and very well controlled. The wheelbase is about 4 inches longer, so it's a little bit bigger vehicle. Now, do the Falcon Doors, how they open, was that a challenge for you? Did it put some constraints?
It wasn't. You know, the concept is really brilliant in a sense because it takes away all the shortcomings of current minivans and SUVs. So the Falcon Wing doors really made for a great massive opening, the biggest opening in the market. Allowed you to step into the car, not duck into the car, and really access the car in a whole new way.
So there we have it. We had a chance to ride in this car and crawl all over it and sit in all the seats and talk to the designers and the engineers. We've learned a lot about it. It's a very promising start, interesting vehicle. A lot of very intriguing ideas are at play here. And we'll see how it develops. This is Kim Reynolds for Wide Open Throttle.
Thanks, Kim. Now, last week, I promised you we would have a discussion on the NSX, and making good on my word, I am now joined by Angus MacKenzie. Thanks for being here, Angus.
Thanks, Jessi.
Now, what I want to begin with is the question that all of our viewers are asking, which is why did they abandon the front-engine V10?
Well, I think it wasn't a true NSX. You know, the original car was a mid-engine supercar. The V10 engine, front-engine prototype that they showed was really something else. It was more like a really big GT. It looked too big and too heavy for it to really resonate with the NSX legend. And, you know, if you think about it, a Ferrari 458 and a Ferrari 348, mid-engine supercars, there's a lineage there. To call something NSX and completely change up the formula, I don't think would have worked.
Now, the Ferrari was the performance target for the first NSX. What is the likely target for this one?
Well, I think it's still going to be Ferrari, the Ferrari 458. I've driven the car, I've done a lot of miles in 458s, and I have to say it is probably the best mid-engine supercar I've ever driven. It's a fabulous car. The irony is, of course, when the original NSX was launched, Ferrari was building the 348, which is one of the worst Ferraris ever. It was a truly horrible car. So the benchmark is a lot lower than it used to be. The 458 is a very high benchmark.
Now, the engineering team has paid a ton of attention to technology. Is it possible it'll be too robotic, too technology assisted?
Well, you know, we hear a lot about, you know, flappy paddles and dual clutch transmissions. And yes, this car's going to have this. This car's also going to have a hybrid powertrain, you know. It's going to have a V6 engine, but with electric motors on the rear wheels and on the front wheels. So there will be some...
Call that invasive.
Yes, some might. But, you know, technology can help really improve the performance. Those people who haven't driven a car with a state-of-the-art dual clutch transmission or like the Ferrari transmission, those cars are incredibly fast. There's a reason why Formula One cars use those sorts of transmissions. It's to get the optimum amount of performance out of the vehicle. So I think there's going to be a lot going on with this car. There will be a real challenge for the Honda engineers, the Acura engineers, to try and have some sort of tactility, some sort of sense of driver involvement. I mean, one of the terrific things about the Ferrari 458 is that although it's got, you know, a dual clutch paddle shift transmission and it's got, you know, sophisticated suspension, it has a real tactile quality to the drive experience. That's going to be the biggest challenge with this new car.
Well, I cannot wait to drive it.
Neither can I.
Obviously, we'll be tracking its development over the next few years, and we'll be getting in the driver's seat in 2015. That's all for this week's edition of Wide Open Throttle. But on Monday, don't miss an all-new episode of Ignition. We're heading to the track with the 2013 BMW 335i, and we're going to see what it can do. As always, if you have any questions or comments about this week's stories, please let us know and send us your feedback. I'm Jessi Lang, and I'll see you next time.